Canada today. Canada coming off a, oh man, I think it was like a 2-15 loss to Team USA foam, but those points were quite tight. I'm a little biased. Tenny with a nice shot, tosses back to Paulson. Paulson with a beautiful shot on number 10 from Colombia. Colombia is going to be on the return here. They've got 4 balls. See Derry putting some nice defensive pressure up. Shots out of right. Derry with the counter, looks for the catch. Balls are flying. Canada with the only casualty off of that exchange. Paulson with the call out of center. Calls himself, just misses the foot of number 4 on Colombia's side. Colombia's going to be on the return here. Ooh, we're seeing a 4-ball hand signal. You don't see those every day. Oh, shot on Paulson. He looks for the snag, but it's not there. Does just pop out of the pocket. We were seeing Canada try some newer calls against the US in their last game, so I'll be eager to see if they pull out anything that they learned. They really did use that game for practice. Canada approaching the line now. 2 shots fired. That's one of those calls I was talking about earlier. A little bit of a shallow cross out of the middle. Boucher is tagged out there. Colombia on the return. 3 bodies apiece. Story looking for that snag. Doesn't quite connect. This is something we have seen Canada do quite a bit. A lot of players here very confident in their catching ability, so they'll opt to go for those grabs instead of maybe that lateral movement. It's also a way to conserve energy. Both these teams quite tired, as I said, doing a lot of double rostering. These guys just came off of another 40-minute game on both teams. Shot from number 80 goes wide on Tenorelli. Tenny with the call off of right. Nice fake. It's Tsushino that takes the throw off of Canada's left wing here. No connection. Lots of movement from the middle player here for Colombia. Definitely trying to draw some eyes, and he does. Tenorelli with the counter, it doesn't connect. Colombia is going to have the player advantage here again, as well as the balls. Nice little trail comes in late on Tenorelli. He does manage to dodge both, but that timing was excellent by Colombia. Tenorelli calling himself to throw here, goes off center. A little bit low, a little bit of a late dodge on there. We see pre-dodges a lot. That one was a little bit of a post-dodge. Colombia with a shot off the left. Oh, Tenorelli with a beautiful counter, does take a tag. Tsushino's gonna wanna get out of there if he's gonna stay alive. Looks for the grab, not quite there. Canada's just staying up a little bit too high there. Tenorelli finds himself in this position a lot, and it's not because he's intentionally being left for last. He is just a great survivor. Shot goes wide. Return is going to be on Colombia here. They have 3 balls, 2 players. Nice block by Tenorelli. I think he wanted to take 3 to the line, but just went, screw it. Ah, that risky move. Releasing that second ball, not a play that I tend to encourage. Colombia thinking they got the hit there, ref calling it clean. Tenorelli saying, nah, that's clean. Another shot goes wide, Tenny opting for a second shot. Keeping a 3rd ball in hand this time, which I appreciate. Tenorelli up to the line, takes a shot off left wing, doesn't quite connect. Not bad placement though. Colombia is going to be back on the return. Pre-shot by Tenorelli. Nice and high, at least it's out of the pocket. And they do get a connection off that one. Number 4 for Colombia, tagging out Tenorelli. Colombia is going to take the first point here. Now, most of the players on the court here for Canada did have cloth as a preferential ball type for today, but they are doing a little bit of foam play as well. So going back and forth with the lines on the court is definitely a challenge. So far, no one has lined out across the center miraculously. 80 with a nice little op shot into center, doesn't connect from Colombia. Canada's going to be on the return with 3 balls. A little bit of a miscommunication there for whose burden it is. Nice shot by Tushino. Derry calling himself to take the shot. I misread that shot. That was for Paulson. No connection there. Canada still up 1 body. Derry kind of alone with that defensive pressure. He's doing a good job locking down his wing. 4-ball call. Let's see what they do. They've been favoring some of these crosses lately. Yeah, 1 and 3. We like it. Getting some angles in there. Derry's lock-up throw. He opts to take that counter. I'm not mad at it. He apologizes to the team, but you have to make them know that they're going to take the shot, or that you're going to take the shot. Call out of center for Colombia. They use some angles in return. Believe they tag Josh in the face there. And we are even bodies. Burden on Canada to throw. Derry with the shot off of right. No one to lock down his wing. We see 2 get fired off in return. And Pofo thinks he sees an opportunity. Takes it on 0-0. Does not connect. Burden's on Colombia. Not as much defensive pressure this time. Canada opting to soak it. Tushino with not a bad idea for that counter. Derry with a nice counter, and great defensive maneuver there by Derry as well. Looks like he slammed his elbow into the ground. The one elbow that doesn't have padding on it. Unlucky. Canada returning on the return. Story with a shot out of center, doesn't connect. Story pretty sure it hit, but ref calling it clean. That did cause some confusion for Canada, though, as they kind of stayed up to the line. That was a little bit dangerous. 2 shots from Colombia. Yeah, we're calling that ground. He wasn't sure if he recouped that catch or not, but I do think it got a little bit of the floor on it. Someone can zoom in and do the slow-mo replay later. Clip it for us. 2 shots fired on the left wing. Neither connects. Arms are looking a little bit tired after that USA game. Derry with a risky move, but he does get his lockup out. Number 80, who's been doing some damage for Colombia. And Pofo looks like he's calling himself to throw here off the left. They do get some angles on it. Not a bad play. They just need to be taking their time to do their follow-through on these throws. Derry looking for the trade. He's been successfully trading most of the day. But unfortunately, not that time. That would have been the moment for it. Ooh, nice little 360 backspin throw from number 4 on Colombia's side. Last one left here. I'd like to see them throw some fakes in, pump them out a little bit. Ref calling it a hit. A little bit of confusion there. I think number 4 was calling himself off there too, but. And Pofo just telling his team to settle down. We don't need to be calling cross court. We've seen a little bit of that from both teams already. We're only 2 points in. If you're looking for any of yesterday's games, we've already got them clipped and separated on the WDBF YouTube, so you can check that out. If you want to see what's live on the other courts, check out the Mexican Federation's YouTube for more live games going on court 1 and 3 right now. Tenorelli with the call out of center. Looks like he's calling Derry for the throw. I misread that again. He called himself. Colombia on the return. 2 shots fired on Boucher. No connections. He has some great vertical movement there. Tenorelli with the call. Paulson butterflying that out. Nice cross. I like that. He is countered by number 10, and that counter goes unpunished. We are even bodies, even balls. Canada on the return. Paulson with the call. Nice tag in the feet and a follow-up by Tushino. Derry looking for some cross-court protection, but that was their last ball. Paulson tagged out looking for those grabs. I'd like to see a little bit more lateral movement out of Canada. We're seeing a lot of vertical up and down sort of jumping dodges or planting for the catches, but those laterals would really help them out. Just like that. Josh Boucher doing an excellent job of executing exactly what I described. Colombia not looking to add sort of defensive pressure here, opting to sort of keep themselves alive first. Derry just keeping his balance, staying in court. Canada's going to be on the return. Call coming off of left wing by Brady Story. Shot out of middle, doesn't connect. Colombia's left wing with the shot. Josh looks for that catch, but it's not there. Oh, beautiful opportunity shot by Derry and a wonderful catch by Brady. Yeah, he wasn't sure if he got hit out. Looks for confirmation, confirms. Down to 2, Tenerelli and Derry. Tenerelli with the last ball in hand. Derry saying keep it. Tenerelli with, I would say, an appropriate amount of defensive pressure here. Oh, beautiful shot by Derry, gets the feet, yeah. Really nice teamwork there, drawing some attention, and Derry just looking for the perfect opportunity to take that shot when his eyes were just popping over to Tenerelli there. Canada is up 2-1 in this first half. If you're curious what's going on our other courts, we have Team USA Women's Foam versus Colombia Women's Foam, up 4-0 for Team USA. Story with the shot off the left wing, doesn't connect. Lots of counters coming here, no connections though. That was a little bit messy. Colombia having a little bit more success on their op shots than Canada. But Canada's got a lot of balls. Story saying, let's mix it up a little bit. I like that all of Colombia goes down and a few casualties out. Unfortunately, a pop-up. Story does take a counter, tries to cover that pop-up, but it's just a little too late. Paulson looking for those grabs again. We are down to 1. Story with the grab, and he survives. That's going to take Boucher back on the court. Captain Derry saying, settle down, make a call, make a plan. I concur. Story with a call. Oh, a really nicely placed shot by Boucher. Does catch the feet of number 80 on the Colombia side. I'm expecting middle to be throwing from Colombia here. And he does. Boucher with a nice block. A little bit of a rush down. Op stuck to take the shot. Good idea. If it's not there, don't take it. Story calling himself. Goes off body. Not bad placement. Just needs to suck it in a little bit more. Canada back up with 4 balls. I'd like to see them go on a body. There haven't been a whole lot of catches here from Colombia. Just 1 in. Of course, that is the danger of going on a body. You do leave yourself open for those counters. But Boucher survives pretty easily there. That shot went a little bit wide. Brady Story with the call. 2 balls thrown. That is risky when you are down players. And Story is tagged out. That's going to leave Boucher on his own. Nice shot. We are calling that a block. And Boucher calling himself off. Looked like it just went off the block and maybe tapped the shoulder a little bit on the way by. I think what got them there was that 4-ball call where they opted to throw 2. That just gives so much ammo to Colombia, gives them a lot of options to play with. Canada was really holding their own there when they were, down to 2 players but up 4 balls. But it happens, you have to remain a little bit unpredictable. And at a certain point, you just get gassed, right? You want to close it a little bit quickly. And Pofo with the shot. Oh, and Story and Derry with shots in return. That was a little bit messy. Everyone thought they saw an opportunity there, and now Canada is down to their last ball. Derry does get tagged out. 2 balls thrown at him. Tashino taking a good counter there, but his lockup just gets a little bit low. Nice grab by Tashino. That's going to be a catch. making sure they're seeing the catch there. Good. Colombia making a plan. They're going to be on the return here. Canada with 3 balls in turn. Let's see if they opt to do a rush down. Looks like no, they opt for the safe call. A little bit of a defensive move. Ampofo with the call. Ooh, a beautiful shot. Just barely misses number 11 out of the center. Nice throw, though. Throw off the left wing. Canada playing it safe, soaking up those balls, not taking the rundown counters. I would say most of their counters haven't really been landing them in a successful position. Catch in the air by number 11. What a catch. That will put Colombia up players and balls. 2 balls on Story, probably a good call since he caught them out last time. Tashino and Story both with catches in this match. Not a bad move there by Story, taking a shot into center and then some good lateral retreating. Tashino with a nice shot. We did see number 80 just glide over it though. Definitely got some hops. Center with a call for Colombia. Oh, Story with an early shot. Decisions were made. Down to Tashino. Now his preferred ball type is actually cloth, but we're seeing a little bit of the Canadians sort of cycle in and out of each ball type, trying to give their teammates a rest for the games that are a little bit more challenging. Tashino doing a good job staying alive here, the single ball shots. We're just waiting for that 4th ball to come in. Way from the back, that's one way to avoid a rush down for sure. Tashino with a shot, does not connect. Some rush downs coming his way, he survives both. He's gonna have 5 balls to work with here. Nice shot by Tashino. Little no-look cross court. Not sure how Colombia ended up with 2 balls out of that, but. Really nice patience here. Colombia not looking to close this by throwing too much ammunition away. They are taking 1 throw at a time. Oh, beautiful shot by Tashino. He's got just a wicked little no-look cross court. It might not be the fastest throw that we see from Canada, but it is so hard to track, and the movement on it is just a little bit weird. Looks like a shagging error, so Canada was asked to give a ball back to Colombia there. Colombia throwing in some fakes, not a bad idea. Tashino's going to be on the return here. He's got 4 balls. So far the strategy has been fake really hard at the right and then cross into left like that. You know what? It's worked every time for him, so I can't fault him on it. Number 80 with a really nice rush down, but Tashino's not coming up high enough to really give him a great opportunity to take that shot. Beautiful shot. Now he's coming up a little higher, opts to throw 2, and a close. What a close. What a close by Tashino, the cloth player. Someone add that to the highlight reel. Tenorelli calling a timeout here for the team. Canada probably wants a little bit of a rest. Definitely a couple things that they could be tightening up on. I don't want to see so many op shots. They are not connecting. They are losing that chaos in the middle, that counter trade game. It's just not quite playing out for them. One thing that I was telling these boys yesterday is you can do a lot of pressuring and a lot of, for lack of a better word, damage just by using your body without even releasing a ball. You know, Colombia's got their heads on a swivel now. They are expecting the balls coming from different angles. You've proven your point. You're going to take those counters. So now all you really need to do is take a couple steps into it. You don't necessarily have to release. So I'd like to see a little bit more pressure. I'd say Derry's been doing a really good job of that these last 2 matches, actually, of knowing when to take the shot versus when to just pressure with his body. His counter timing has been really good. some of these boys, you know, we've been talking to them about taking a counter on someone that's not necessarily the person you're locked up with, the person directly across from you. But when it comes to Derry, I mean, his timing is so good, he can kind of pick or choose. Colombia first to the ball, but a little bit of a slide off that rush does kind of give them a disadvantage. Few balls fired, no casualties. It's going to be Canada's return. Looks like Derry with the call off a wing there. Opts to take a shot on 80, who has swapped out of that lockup position with 0-0. Not a bad idea to change things up for Colombia. Ah, beautiful cross. My heart grows 2 sizes every time I see one of those throws. Beautiful shot by Story. Derry with a really good presence up the court, getting ready to cover that pop-up. That's one thing that Canada's been trying to work on too, is covering those pop-ups. Another 4-ball call. Let's see what they do with it. I like it, I like it. Now I'm gonna want to see them only throw 1 for a little while. They've kind of proven their point there. And Pofo with a shot. Not sure what the miscommunication there was. They heard a countdown. I think it was for a Colombia pointing cross court, saying there was a hit. I didn't see it. You got to be careful because the pointing does warrant cards at this tournament, and we've seen some blue cards given away. I haven't seen any yellows or reds yet. Canada taking the opportunity to have a conversation about it. The refs are saying yes, that was a hit. He was sure a pretty accountable player. All the Canadians actually, and their American friends, have been pretty accountable for this tournament, so I don't think it was in, you know, bad faith or anything. So it was a countdown to no block. Yeah, what's interesting there is the count kind of finished, but the whistle wasn't blown, and some action kept going after the count was completed for that no block countdown. So I think there's just a little bit of confusion for what mattered in that moment. I think our refs maybe weren't quite in sync for their countdown there. Captain Derry in the huddle, bringing in Carlos Romer as well. He is our bilingual specialist. They're going to be having a discussion about what this means going into the next points. Meanwhile, if you're curious about the scores on our other courts, we have Team USA Women's Foam up 6-0 against Colombia Women's. They're just going into no block. USA with a 5-player advantage. Meanwhile, on court 3, we have Team USA up 10 points with a 14-4 lead on, I want to say that is Mexico in their secondary jerseys today, but someone can correct me if I'm wrong. Still a little bit of back and forth in this conversation. The refs and the players really keen to make sure that they're getting the right call here going into no block. Yeah, I think that countdown really did impact the sequence of events. If you're curious about the scores and standings for the day or where we landed yesterday, you can go to www.dodgeballhub.com, click on the calendar and go to today's dates, search for this event, and then click schedule. And that is going to show you what's going on for the schedule today. There's also a standings section, so you can see where all the points are at. Or if you want to click on the map function, you just toggle over to Mexico, click on the little point on the map, and then you'll get the same options. So we've decided we're going to land in a 3-on-3 situation. Even bodies, even balls for Colombia and Team Canada. Tenerelli a little confused, not sure if that's what they agreed to, but here we are. Story with the shot off and gets some hops, good dodge, and Povo gets nice and low. That's hard to do when you are that tall. Hey, nice, a lot of balls thrown, no connections. Good survivability from Canada. Now, they don't have any defensive pressure on them. I want to see them take their full wind-ups. Good. Good coverage on that ball. A nice late shot by Tenerelli. Canada now with the player advantage. I'm expecting to see some pre-throws come in from Colombia. So was Ampofo as he sucks one in. Colombia down to their last player. Takes a pre-shot on Tenerelli. Can't fault him for that. He's got no balls. And a nice shot. Looks like they didn't connect. Yeah, I did think one got him. The refs agree. So that will put Canada up 4-2 against Colombia going into the second half. Now, I don't have rosters in front of me, but I will be able to see the backs of some of these jerseys. So hopefully we'll get some names for these Colombian players. If you're watching this back, thanks for your patience, Colombia. Team's going to take this halftime break to have a little bit of a conversation, discuss what can be tightened up, what can be improved. I have seen the teams make some adjustments on both sides. Nice to see. I will say one of the things that I've been, I'm a little biased here. I'm Canadian. A little bit proud of my Canadian boys for is the adaptability. They've been changing things up midway through halves, midway through games. And trying new things, and just to see that level of adaptability is kind of rare, to be honest. It's not often you're mid-game and someone can say, change this very fundamental thing about how you're playing, and players can just adapt to it. But they have been good for it. And they've been very good about letting me yell pointers from the sidelines, so thank you, boys. I will say, in terms of taking advantage of the chaos, Colombia has been on top here. Their shots are coming in just a little bit more accurately. So if I'm Colombia, maybe I'm trying to force a few more of those moments. I'm trying to bait some more balls out of the Canadian players, because the Canadians have been biting when they've seen opportunities, and the throws haven't quite been connecting. Canada on their set throws, though, not looking too bad. They are taking out players in those situations. Right now, USA Women's up 7 points, 7-0 against Colombia Women's Foam. Can't see the score on the cloth side, but USA still with a pretty hefty lead against Mexico. That's men's cloth. And they're off. Pretty evenly timed getting to that middle ball. Colombia fires off a shot. Canada now with 4 balls. Opts to throw in one of those crosses. Both Colombians get under it. They've got their heads on a swivel now. Santa Maria with the call. That's number 80. He's been given a lot of trouble to some of these players. There are 2 Santa Maria number 80s on the court, so I don't know which one of you is the real one. 2 shots fired. Let's see if they can get that rebound catch. Oh, that's what I mean. That chaos just does not pay off for Canada, not when it's against Colombia for some reason. Rodriguez with a shot out of center, goes wide on Ticino. Ticino with the call off of Canada's right wing here. Calls himself to throw, does get a hit, is countered. Canada does not want trades in this moment. Colombia maybe not too afraid of a trade. 2 shots fired on Boucher. They put some angles on him. Defensive pressure here by Santa Maria, number 80 in the middle. Not a bad shot by Boucher. Although I will say Santa Maria is wanting that shot to come at him, so maybe pick a different target. Story with a nice shot on Bello. Ruida with a shot, number 00 on the left side, blocked by Boucher. Boucher with a shot. One in, not thrown at his wing. Oh, nice shot there by Ruida. Story has been in this position a few times now. There is a shoelace being called. Story is going to get a second to breathe. And Brady Story pretty confident in his catching ability. Might not want to burn the energy trying to stay alive here. Might just plant for the catch. But we'll see how it plays out. I don't want to put him in a box. Nice retreat, good block. He's going to have 4 balls. And a block is popped up and caught by Colombia. They are starting to chip away at Canada's lead here. Canada up 4-3. Story staying on the court, not even taking a rest after that. I think Colombia was first to the rush there, but Paulson takes a shot. Yeah, these exchanges off the top are not working for Canada. They need to change to a defensive rush, I think. Return is going to be on Colombia. Call coming out of center. Rodriguez with the throw, doesn't connect, goes wide off of Ampofo. Ampofo talking about a call now. Throwing 2 balls is a little bit of a risky move here for Canada when you are down that many players. They are down to their last ball on the side of Ticino. 2 balls just clip Story in the fingers. Matt Derry on the left side for Canada. Oh, takes a greedy throw. Was it worth it? He does not have a ball in hand yet. Not a bad idea to chip away at these players, but I would want to make sure my Shaggers got a ball first. Another shot off by Derry. This is what I mean by you can use a lot of pressure without throwing, and hopefully we see Ticino get up and apply some pressure too, because they are laser focused on Derry now. Ball bounces in. Canada with 5. Let's see if they, ooh, 2 shots fired. Santa Maria getting nice and low though. Santa Maria with a shot. Derry goes high. Derry been doing a great job of changing it up. The left, right, back and forth, up and down. Blocks, catches. Very well-rounded player today. Ooh, takes that risky move though. Oh, looks for the shot, just slips through his fingers. Canada been throwing a lot of those second balls in those scenarios. I'd like to see them keep one for defense. This is going to be a tall order for Ticino, but it wouldn't be his first 1v many that he's closed. Two shots fired, but they're nowhere near him. That's going to give him 5 balls on the return. Ticino playing it a little bit safe here, opting not to go all the way up for the throws. That worked well for him last time, and he does get a hit on number 11. Nice block by Ticino. Easily retrieved by the ball retriever. He's got 5 balls. We've been seeing him do these fakes and then turn into a different target. That time he is switching it up, going straight on. Nice and low, not quite on target, but not in a catchable zone, so we'll take that all day. Colombia applying a little bit more pressure, getting a little bit closer. And the throws are getting a little bit closer too. That one barely blocked by Ticino. And a disarm closes it. Canada calling a timeout. I think that is the play. I would like to see them change to a defensive rush. Unfortunately, I am not there to yell at them in this moment. Let's see what they decide to do all on their own. Meanwhile, on our other court, we've got women's foam, USA versus Colombia. USA up 9-0. We also have a USA versus Mexico men's cloth game. USA with 20 points on the board. Not sure where Mexico is. My vision is obstructed. Not 20 points though. Canada bringing their translator up to have the conversation with the refs. Not sure where the confusion lies here. If any of my Canadians are watching this back later, pop some comments in the chat and let us know what all these conversations are about when you're chatting with the ref. Looks line related. If you are just tuning in, this is the coverage of the North American and Caribbean Dodgeball Championship in Mexico City. You are watching Team Canada men's foam versus Colombia men's foam. If you want to see the live scores and standings, or semi-live, say on the hour, they seem to be getting updated. You can check out dodgeballhub.com and search for the event. Click on standings, click on schedule, see where we're at. We are all tied up with 13 minutes and 13 seconds to go. They are not doing a defensive rush. They do come out a little bit better off of that one though. Colombia saying there was a catch. I did not see that. The refs didn't appear to see it either. Boucher with a shot out of center. Colombia trying to get the attention of the refs as they think there was a catch there. I have the worst possible angle for it, so. Ref saying no catch. Canada up bodies, up balls. And Pofo with a shot. Derry with a counter, but it's not his lockup. He's got to be careful. He's been making really good decisions all day today, but that one was a little bit loose. Busher with a shot out of center, no ball. Like to see those calls happening fast. That was something Canada was working on. Derry with a nice shot into center. Takes a great connection. Busher with some great defensive. Derry with a nice counter. That is the moment to take those counters. Colombia down to one player. Now Canada's been a little bit loose, making a few errors in their end game. So let's see if they can play this one smart. And they do. That late trail off the top of the head, not sure if one hit before that. Rodriguez still saying there was a catch off the top. Possible the ref didn't see it, possible the ball wasn't activated. A catch on an unactivated ball unfortunately does not count if that's what happened. Someone throw it in the comments. Unfortunately, we do only have a few refs here, although 3 is not bad. Definitely played at some tournaments where you only have the one ref for round robin. Canada's still doing these offensive reds. They're calling him hit. Romer saying it was ball, but he's smiling. He'll take that out. Canada with 5 balls. Let's see if they throw 2 here. They do! 1 out. Looks like the other one was, not sure, have a bad angle here from the back. Either blocked or they both hit the same target there. And they do tag out Santa Maria, number 80. Big target. They were saying there was two balls hit off of that double first. Yeah, I wasn't sure either. It's hard to tell from the back angle here, but it did sound and kind of look like there was 2 hits there. It is unfortunate that that's being called a full throw later, though. That's definitely a little confusing for Colombia. 2 shots fired on Paulson. Second one does connect by the looks of things. Canada with 4 balls on the return. Colombia with 3 players. 2 throws out of center. Retaliatory strikes back and forth. Oh, beautiful cover there by Boucher. We are calling that a catch. I agree. I do think that was a clean catch. That's going to bring Canada down to a 2-on-2 situation here with Colombia. 5 balls in hand. Oh, and they do take out Ampofo. Despite a lot of confusion there, Colombia coming back to cinch that point. Looks like a timeout was called. Both teams taking the opportunity to chat a little bit. Maybe it wasn't a timeout. They're just being a little bit sneaky, a little cheeky. Carlos Romer with a little bit of a back and forth gesture with his hands. I can only imagine he's telling Canada that there's been too many trades and we're not coming out on top of them. Matt Derry with a slow Jaguar-like approach. Story with the call, no ball play call. I like it, he sees something. They call one of those patented crosses. No connections that time. Colombia getting nice and low. Canada needs to keep these shots just a little bit lower. Colombia with the call out of center. 2 shots thrown. 1 does connect on Boucher. That's going to put Colombia up bodies. A nice counter by Ampofo. A nice dodge by Story. Almost gets clipped in the face. Looks like he might have twisted his knee a little bit on that dodge, though. Hopefully he's all right. Canada cannot afford injuries at this stage. Team Canada with a lot of actually American guest stars on the team this year. We almost didn't send a team, but thanks to some hard work by a few, a nice back and forth and back and forth. A rarity with Canada coming up on top. We did manage to scrape together a team. Team USA, very kind enough to give us a couple of their Americans. There was a hit, there was a snag, but the ball was already dead. Number 11, fully aware, not even disputing that. Two balls thrown on Story. That is a risky move for Colombia that only has 2 players. They are now giving Canada a lot of angles, a lot of options to work with here. Ampofo with a nice shot. Number 4 here for Colombia, though, with a great block. That deep cross did not do Matt Derry any favors there, but Ampofo corrects the mistake. Team Canada with 5 balls. 2 shots thrown on ball, no connection. They've got to get out of there, or they need to stay up and take that trade. There's a little bit of indecisiveness happening from their wings. Carlos Romer with the call out of center. He throws himself. Both wings locking down Colombia, kind of keeping them from doing a little bit of a rush down. They do get a tag. Romer tagged out. Ampofo and Paulson both opting for a shot that maybe was a little bit too late. Not sure the shot was still there, but if they want to go for trades. Nice dodge by Story. I do anticipate Colombia taking a little bit of a pre-throw here. Opts to stay defensive. Now these 2 players have been getting low almost every time. I want to see Canada sort of adjust to that. Get these shots just a little lower. Story has been such a target. He's a huge target in the center with no ball, so they are opting to take shots on him and spending 2 a lot of the time. Still a little bit too high. Paulson looking for that grab. I would like to see some lateral movement on the retreat there from him. Nice try by Paulson. And a catch is going to close it down. That's what I'm talking about with the end game. Canada has just gotten a little bit loose at times in those up bodies, end game sort of situations. Not sure if it's a lack of patience or a lack of communication. But sometimes you just have to keep resetting and doing it until it works. We are missing a ball. While they're looking for that, I'll just give you an update on the scores. Team USA versus Colombia women's foam. Team USA up 12-0. Team USA versus Mexico men's cloth. Team USA up 26-8. If you're looking for those live streams, you can find them on the Mexican Federation YouTube accounts, or you'll find them clipped later today on the WDBF. Tenerelli with a nice shot, doesn't connect, but I don't hate it. There was 3 players sort of lined up in a row, fish in a barrel there if you wanted to take that shot. Shot out of center for Colombia. 2 shots fired on Paulson, narrowly stays in the court. That's gonna give Canada some ammunition. 4-ball play call. I would like to see them stagger some balls, send 1, and then look for that second shot, not necessarily spend 2. A nice shot by Paulson, nice and low. Those are the shots I want to see when we see these corners turtling when they're down to 2 players. Nice shot by Boucher. And it's secured by a teammate, Brady Story. Looks like there was a second shot that might have clipped him. So no one will be on for the catch that time, but they do get a player off. 2 shots fired. Derry not feeling good about that. He's pretty sure he got a hit, but there's been a lot of back and forth jeering, I think, from these teams, but also a lot of smiles. Oh, Colombia with a catch. Thought there might have been a tag there as well, but it looks like just the catch. That's going to put them up bodies. Canada needs to not let this get in their heads. There's a little bit of frustration. Tenerelli looks like he was hit or maybe landed on the line there. It looks clean from my angle, but great accountability from him. These points have been pretty back and forth. It's a pretty close game. Looks like Ruiz might have just dodged into his teammate and hurt his ankle. Good hops by Story. We love us a split in the air. Split dodge is very underrated. Canada's going to want to get this point. They don't want to let it get away from them too much. They throw 2. They do get the point, but unfortunately, Romer tagged out on a counter. They can't be looking for trades at this point. Canada on the return. 4 balls in hand. Best friends Matt Derry and Brady Story coming up to the line. Matt looking like he's looking for a counter here. He is. He might have telegraphed that play a little bit. Derry with a shot. Eyes up. Unfortunate. A cross-court counter is going to take out Story. Matt Derry's got a lot of work to do. There's only 1 minute on the clock. Colombia might go home with this game. Derry's going to have to do something a little clutch here. Not enough time. Oh, a nice shot over the block and into the head. No Colombians with balls in hand yet. A nice shot by Derry and another. But Colombia does close that point. Looks like we're probably going to go into no block, and Canada's going to be playing for the point differential here. A really good effort there by Derry. He just needed to have balls in his hands, but unfortunately they were already on the court. When you're turning around to dodge and then sort of retreating with your body facing the other way, it's very hard to change direction, so it can be a little bit easier to read where your dodge is going to land you, and I think that's why Colombia was able to get that shot off on Derry so accurately. Shot off on Ampofo, shot off on Derry, no connections. Romer with a counter does connect on 0-0. Derry with another greedy shot. He sees an opportunity with some eyes not paying attention. Ampofo with an op shot too. Paulson with a shot. That one is going to be a trade. Canada not too upset with a trade right now. Derry getting a taste of his own medicine. Eyes were not up. Good movement by Boucher. Targeted by 2 balls. Refs having a conversation. Calling in the captains. It might be a warning for invalids, actually. Ref indicating balls going high. That's all I can think of unless there's a card or something being handed out. If you're watching this game back later, please, Colombia, Canada, pop it in the chat. Had some very interesting huddles with the refs. Early shot on Ampofo, doesn't connect. They do get a connection that time, and a late shot by Tenerelli is going to take out number 13. That does give Colombia some balls to play with. Tenerelli looking for that greedy cross-court. I will say the cross-court counters have not been working out so well for Canada. And another shot pops right out of Boucher's basket. Ampofo with the shot. Romer with the shot. Down to 1, just Ampofo, seeing some great bouts of athleticism there, but sucked in by Colombia, and Colombia will take this point and the game. That's it for me, folks. I need to go play some mixed sports. Keep it tuned to the WDBF and Dodgeball Mexico's coverage of the North American and Caribbean Dodgeball Championships.